Summer camp, kids laughing, first crush. Sounds like a nice simple story, right? But things don't stay that way for long. The first crush turns into heartbreak. Your new friends, not who they seem to be. And the happy memories start to disappear. What starts out as cozy nostalgic slowly becomes sweet, even a little scary. Strange dreams, tough choices, and a feeling that something's not right. This is the world where the past catches up with you, and even good memories hide their secrets. Sounds kinda uncomfortable, right?
But what if we told you that there is an absolutely free game that throws you into one of the most misunderstood, even disliked eras in history, but still became a cultural phenomenon in the Russian internet, even if it might force you to feel and take over the psychological pain of characters? Hi everyone, Glitch Gremlin team here, and today, in Signals from Russia series, we, experts lives, gonna tell you about Everlasting Summer, another specific Russian novel that won hearts of million people and can feel uncomfortably close to your own, no matter who you are.
Everlasting Summer was developed by Soviet Games team, a small team of Russian enthusiasts from an internet image board called E-chan. So basically, E-chan is a Russian image board launched by some weeb with the nickname Mod-chan as an innocent alternative to Toxic Patch and 4chan. It had a various amount of cute mascots, eye-catching designs, and mod literally built another universe for gentle nerds. And I'm not surprised that those cute and friendly conversations were typical anime image board content, plus discussion about wanting to marry Haruhi Suzume, lol. But let's stop with the mascots. Look at the amount, there are tons of girl mascots. So obvious there were a bunch of guys that wanted to create an auto game for weeps with them. In 2007, they created a team, chose popular mascots from E-chan and watch started to develop a game. But through years of work, they brought all about mascots into the story, they gave them personalities, backstories, and a complex trait, completely shifting the direction of the original idea.
In 2014, Everlasting Summer was released on gaming services and received a ton of high ratings and positive feedback from the Russian-speaking community. It started to get a cult following. People began cosplaying the characters, writing loads of fanfics, seeing themselves in them, even making modes. But why did this happen? Let's dig into it.
The game begins with a quiet sense of despair. The main character, Simeon, is a lonely young man who lives off random freelance work and spends most of his time on anonymous image boards. One winter day, he takes a bus number 410 to a school reunion meeting, but falls asleep through the writing and wakes up at the gates of a summer pioneer camp called Savionek. Suddenly, he's no longer in the winter of 2008,
but in a Soviet summer from the 1980s.
And that's where our analysis begins. The story unfolds as Simeon tries to understand what's happening. He slowly gets involved with the girls in the camp. Each of them has her own path, with differing endings, good and bad, that let them reveal themselves as complex individuals. Let's look at each one briefly. As we go, each girl gets a colored star, representing her card trait.
Slavia is the first person Simeon meets in the camp. She introduces him to the place. She's an athlete, an activist, nature researcher, and the main assistant to the camp leader. Calm, dependable, the one who solves problems and helps everyone. She grew up in a large family as the eldest, which might explain her hard-working nature and caring behavior, typical dream girl. But now, we can make our first theory that in several storylines we can see that behind this ideality lie principles, excuse of rules, lack of rest, trust and attention, rivalry and a wish to be real, liberated and find love like others. She can't be active every time, so she is recharging by connecting with nature and just being alone. Slavia gets the orange star, exemplarity. Lena is melancholic and deeply introverted. She avoids people and drowns herself in books, but in certain situations she shows surprising calm and confidence, but too afraid of being rejected to show her real self. If you gain her trust, she can open up. If not, she might take her own life. Lena gets the blue star, which stands for despair. Miko is a girl bursting with talent and running the music club. She can play every instrument, probably from years of practice. She talks fast, constantly, trying to show her best side. In our opinion, her talkativeness hides a need for attention. People often don't understand her, and she feels left out, and she wants to be seen. Miko gets the yellow star, which stands for pretentious. Alisa, the rebel. Loud, sarcastic, always breaking the rules, but it's just a mask. Underneath, she's scared, kind, and innocent when it comes to love. She grew up in tough conditions, and her bad girl image protects her from getting hurt. Alisa gets the red star, which stands for aggression. Uliana is cheerful, energetic, and unpredictable, a symbol of childhood mischief. She loves jokes, pranks, and adventures, but under her wild behavior lies something deeper, a fear of growing up. Uliana's image reflects that part of us wants to stay young forever, to stay in a world where it's still okay to be silly and reckless. Uliana gets the pink star, which stands for naivety. Yulia is a mysterious cat girl who knows that camp is a simulation, short in stature, who according to lore escaped from a lab. She is a robot made for cloning and organ donation. Simeon gives her the name Yulia. She doesn't know and understand the world, but wants to. Her behavior feels childlike because she was made for one purpose, but she wants to be something more, and we can make a parallel with people that are still children in soul, that are very curious, bold, and emotionally unstable. Yulia gets the green star, which stands for immaturity.
Now you are probably asking why all the stars? Why divided them like this? On the first side, Everlasting Summer looks like a usual dating sim. Pick a girl, make some choices, get an ending. But the deeper you go, the more you realize that this isn't about romance. It's about the version of ourselves we meet along the way. The characters are not just fictional girls. They're reflections of real emotional states and ways we relate to others. But how does it work? Let's analyze and explore the cast in 3 psychological clusters and how they connect to real life.
The first group, the problem of performative idealism. The yellow star is Miko and the orange star is Slavia. Bright colors, like sunlight and fire, they can shine brilliantly but also fade in an instant. Slavia is the picture of an ideal girl. Helpful, caring, responsible, but even she can get tired. She often needs solitude to reconnect with nature, to feel alive and fulfilled. Sometimes she wants to stop being the perfect one and just be herself, even if it means going against principles. Miku, on the other hand, always tries to show her best side. She talks a lot about herself, performs her music, tries to win affection, because deep down she's burning out. She feels different, misunderstood, and just wants someone to truly see her. In real life, we also put on a show, trying to be better, more likable, more useful, but behind this idealized version of ourselves, there is often pain we hide, the exhaustion we are afraid to show. We just want to be understood and accepted as we are. The second group, the problem of trauma. The blue star is Lena and the red star is Alisa. Blue and red, sadness and anger, the 2 sides of the same wound. In life, trauma can make people shut down, fall into depression or become hostile, tough, seemingly cold. But behind that is often someone craving connection, trying to protect their inner self. The third group, the problem of infantilism. Pink star, Uliana, green star, Yulia. Pink, innocence. Green, a fruit that hasn't ripened. Uliana acts like a child, loud, playful, reckless. But maybe that's a way to show us a fear of growing up. Staying childish means avoiding the painful reality of adulthood, where nothing is simple. Yulia, meanwhile, comes from a place of control and artificiality. She was raised for someone else's purpose, kept in a fake world. Once free, she explores everything with naive wonder, like a child seeing the world for the first time, unsure of what to do or who to be.
We've divided them all But I think there's one more star we need, the white star, Mirror. And who gets it? A character who carries all three problems.
The white star is for Semyon. Semyon is literally just the mirror of us. He has all the problems we've talked about, and we can see that he is afraid to grow up. He spends most of his time online, detached from the real world. He is empty, and when he arrives at the camp, he tries to act perfect on good routes or selfish on bad ones. But deep down, he's like a child, exploring an unfamiliar world, trapped in a never-ending loop.
And we also hide online. We find safety in communities and forums. We've been hurt, so we isolate ourselves or act out. We fear adulthood, feel lost between right and wrong. Yet we're curious, we create, we draw, write, program, play, just show we're worth something, but behind it all is pain.
This game, it's not just a dating simulator. It's a story about the human soul, about the struggle to choose, to understand, to be understood. We're all just small, fragile beings, trying to find ourselves again and again.